But some of the Democrats were pushing some far-left radical policies.
This is supposed to be the party of working people. Yes, we're supposed to be for 70% tax rates.
If we want to be the most prosperous nation in the 21st century, we need to make sure that women are paid what they deserve.
We must begin impeachment now.
Health care is not just a human right, it should be an American right.
So are voters buying into these ideas? Here to debate that is GOP strategist Justin Wallin and former State Department official under the Obama administration, Joel Rubin. Guys, thanks for coming on this morning. We're going to start with health care as our first topic. And you had two candidates, Bill de Blasio and Elizabeth Warren, saying they want to go full single payer. Joel, how do you think that plays?
Well, with the theme of last night, Buenos Dias, and I think single payer, clearly it's not something that most Democrats are averse to, but there was a debate last night about how to pay for it and how to execute it. But the big picture here is that our health care system is failing. Americans know it. President Trump has not been able to do anything to fix it, and Americans are frustrated, and Democrats are saying we have ideas and we have solutions, and the president is just taking away people's health care, and that's not good for the economy. It's not good for our society.
Yeah, Justin, over to you. Joel's former boss, President Obama, his policy almost seems moderate compared to some of the things they're talking about now. Single payer is scary for a lot of people. How do you think that plays?
Yeah, it's scary, but there's a particular element about it last night that's super scary. You can really tell that it's a primary election and everyone goes hard left. It wasn't just single payer. It's single payer, let's abolish private insurance. Once you start talking about that to American voters, they freak out. People like their private insurance when it's good. There are problems in the healthcare system. There are things that need to be fixed. But abolishing private insurance, that's not a winner. Yeah, that's a dangerous game. And Elizabeth Warren has been spiking recently. For her to come out for that, it's a bold move. It could backfire. We don't know. Let's take a look at a poll here from Fox News asking people what they're looking for when they're deciding a primary candidate to vote for. And look at that. 72% of people want steady, reliable leadership over a bold new agenda. Joel, does that mean somebody like a Joe Biden has got a better shot here?
Well, that's why he's up in the polls. He's up by twice over his next competitors because Americans across the board, and Democrats in this case, are looking at him and saying this is somebody who actually understands how to make the country get back on track again. And last night, nobody took a shot at Vice President Biden, which is very interesting. Democrats on the stage last night understood that he is a popular target and he's a popular politician. So if they're going to take shots, they have to be very careful about how they do it. Clearly, that poll demonstrates this.
Justin, I want to go to the topic of immigration. Julian Castro last night talked about decriminalizing crossing the border with any border that we have in this country. How does that play out for moderate Democrats?
For moderate Democrats, I think that's a problem. I mean, Castro did a wonderful job about to distance himself from the pack. I think he got great airtime. So in that respect, given that he was not a leader in polling, is not a leader in polling, that was smart. On the other hand, what he was pushing, that idea, is not something that resonates well with Americans. Yes, there's empathy for immigrants. There's certainly support, plurality and majority support for dreamers to have some path to residency here in the United States. But that doesn't mean that Americans don't want security at the border. It's a complex topic, and decriminalizing something like that, I don't think that floats well with most Americans and even moderate Democrats.
Yeah. Joel, your response?
Yeah, well, I think this is a legitimate debate. Are people criminals because they cross the border looking for a safe life? No, they're not. But now they're treated as such. And we're coming to an end point right now where people are dying at the border, and we need to have a legitimate conversation about it. What Castro's put out there is this idea that we decriminalize it and we deal with the people here. And this is a major peak issue for the Democratic base. This is the one that's going to continue
Joel, real
to
quick,
persist.
you say looking for a safer life. I think a lot of people at this point believe that a lot of these people are just looking for a better economic life, that they are economic refugees.
There's part to that, but these countries are in free fall. They are decaying, and there is major violence there. So children are not leaving just because of an economic life. They're leaving because people are getting shot at higher rates there than any other part of the world. It's worse than the war zones in many places where we're active right now in Afghanistan and elsewhere. So there is a serious security crisis south of here, and we need to grapple with it. And right now, we're just ignoring it, and that's why this is rising in the Democratic Party.
Got to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.